Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly forecast for January 27th through February 2nd. We're going to see what's happening in the week ahead with this lovely deck here. And then we're going to pull an oracle card for you guys with this deck here. So without further ado, Taurus, let's see what's happening for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising in the week ahead. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Alrighty. So Monday, Tuesday, my dears, we have the Hanged Man. Well, that also came up for Scorpio. So if you have Scorpio in your chart, I have Scorpio and Taurus in my chart, then this is going to be a double whammy for you. This is going to be a confirmation for you, okay? So Monday, Tuesday, it can be a time or a situation where you don't have a whole lot going on, or like something is being cleared up or removed out of your way. That's the feeling I got with Scorpio as well. So that you're finding that all of a sudden you have downtime, okay? And you might think, well, what am I going to do? What's going to be the next thing? What's going to be the next step? You're being given some downtime. Something is happening. The universe is causing this downtime or this slow period to be given to you so that you can take some time for self-reflection and get very clear about what you want, because you're going to have to make some very big choices and decisions in the coming weeks on and through the next few months. With Scorpio, it was like busy energy, like busy energy. With you guys, I feel this is more mental. Like you're going to have to make big choices, big decisions. So Spirit's trying to give you some time right now to really get clear about what you want to do, because the next few months of your life, it's going to be very much like one of those old school choose your own adventure kind of books. You know, which way do you want to go? Which direction do you want to go? You know, do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? You know, what kind of experiences do you want to have? You're also going to be manifesting also. So like where your thoughts are really directing these manifestations. Keep in mind, guys, the Hangman is a major arcana card, so this is going to be a period that you're coming into, a time that you're coming into. It's going to also require that there's some elements of spiritual awakening that are going to be occurring for you. I feel that you're really going to find a lot of the things that you've been doing in your life. You're going to all of a sudden wake up and realize, wow, I've been really on autopilot in a lot of ways. A lot of things I've been doing, I've just been doing because I've been used to doing them, but they don't resonate with you anymore. So there's almost this feeling of like shedding the old skin even, okay? That's like something I'm getting for you guys, Taurus. Your Wednesday, Thursday card is King of Swords, okay? So midweek, there could be an energy that's happening here having to do, again, I talked about decisions, right? I talked about decisions. I talked about planning. King of Swords really falls into that realm. King of Swords is very logical. King of Swords is going to be really good about coming up with an action plan. For some of you, this could be an element of yourself if you have, you know, air in your chart or in your planetary placements, or you may be dealing with an air sign. There may be an air sign that's coming into play in the coming weeks and months as you're going through this awakening, as you're going through these shifts, these decisions. So an air sign would be Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Okay, so this could be somebody that might be coming in that you're going to be working with closely, or who is going to, and keep in mind, it could be their moon, it could be their rising, it could be their Venus. This is why I don't get too hung up on the zodiac, but I do mention it because I know some people, like, they need that confirmation, or they need to hear it. So for some of you, this is a person that's coming in. I do feel, for whatever reason, Taurus, and this is really interesting, I didn't get this with Scorpio. I did get a lot of like this, like a lot of fast moving changes, a lot of things coming in, but Taurus. So if you're a Taurus with Scorpio in your chart, I think both are going to apply to you. But with Taurus in general, I feel the Taurus aspect or the Taurus energy of things, this makes me feel like these changes and these decisions that are coming in are causing you to have to pick or choose between people. Okay, so for some of you, it could be where you're being placed in a situation where you're having to take sides in some family issue or something within the home. And for some of you, there could be something in terms of like an ultimatum, right? Like you're wanting to do something, but you might have a spouse or you might have a friend or somebody that says, well, if you're going to do that, then, we're done. Like there may be some kind of an ultimatum where you're being made to feel like you have to choose between certain things, right? You might have somebody that's making you choose between your friendship with them and a significant other, or you might have somebody like in a situation, maybe your family doesn't approve of something you're doing or some plan you're going into or relationship you're going into. So in that way, I feel like some of you are having to choose between people, which is unfortunate. But anybody that's going to give you that kind of an ultimatum, maybe you don't need them around, that's your decision to make. I can't tell you what to do, Taurus, but I do feel some of you are feeling like you're having to pick or choose between, two decisions or choices. And I feel that when you're making this decision or you're making this choice, the reason why other people are getting upset or kind of like giving you an ultimatum is because I feel you're stepping away from certain tasks or responsibilities that you're no longer going to be able to perform, that it was just kind of like dumped on you, right? Like it was just kind of like, here, you take care of this. And so you might have friends or you might have relatives or family members who are going to have to step up and take over what you've been doing this whole time because you're no longer going to be available to do it. So this is their main reason or their main motivation for making you feel like, oh, you shouldn't do that, or you're being selfish, or, I'm not going to support you in this. And, like they might be accusing you of being selfish, but really they have selfish motives for not wanting to see you go in this new direction or make these choices because it's going to be inconvenient for them, because you inconveniencing yourself has been so very convenient for them, right? So they don't want to have that change or that shift. So for some of you, I feel that there's going to be a lot of planning that you're going to have to do with, how things are going to be changing. I feel that these are not just decisions, but dynamics are changing. Dynamics between relationships, between family arrangements, work schedules, things like this. There's going to be a lot of changing that's happening. I'm feeling like a lot of anxiety too. Like I want to like clear the energy. I don't know where my Palo Santo is. I like want to light my Palo Santo right now. So just ground yourself, breathe. You might feel nervous about the decisions you're having to make, but this is ultimately going to be because it has to do with your awakening, coming into something better, coming into a higher vibration, coming into a better way of being, a better existence. But I really, really feel very strongly there's something happening where you're sitting down and you're dividing. You're dividing assets or resources or responsibilities because you're going to go into some other mode or some other chapter into your life. So it's like, let's close out the books. Let's handle what needs to be handled. And you're, kind of going off into this new adventure or into this new life. So some tying up of loose ends, that kind of energy. One thing I want to say for those of you where you're finding that situation happening, don't get too nervous, don't get too worried, because the fact that you have King of Swords coming up, if this is a person that's coming into play here in the situation, King of Swords is absolutely somebody you're going to want to have in your corner when it comes to changes, planning, strategy. King of Swords is very good with strategy. Okay, so this is somebody that, they're going to be able to help you look at situations from a different angle. They're going to come up with creative solutions. So you do have help in that way if you're feeling stuck or if you're having a hard time coming up with solutions. Also, King of Swords is really, really good with negotiating. negotiating, communicating. So it could be aspects within yourself that are coming to the forefront, or it could be, you know, somebody that's coming in and helping you, right? Like they're gonna kind of be your rock in that way. King of Swords might not be the most emotionally intimate person, right? Like they might not be the most cuddliest kind of person, but they're gonna have your back, and they're gonna give you direction, and they're gonna give you good advice, and they're gonna help you figure out solutions. And so in this kind of energy, very, very good kind of personality to have. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have Two of Wands. Again, contracts, decisions, things of this nature. Some of you, whatever might be coming up, there may also be legal contracts coming up or agreements, okay? Maybe for some of you, there's going to be decisions that you're having to make moving forward, where you are having to either accept some kind of work offer or job offer or some other legal contract. It could be like a prenuptial agreement. It could be dividing assets between family or inheritance or things of this nature, or something having to do with, you know, transferring over caretaker responsibilities or things of this nature. And Two of Wands is asking you to read between the lines, to pay attention to the fine print, to pay attention to any catches. So this is going to be a good time to check and double check and get a second opinion. You know, have a second pair of eyes look at something. If it's a legally binding situation, you know, don't sign anything without getting counsel, without having an attorney look it over and give you advice on what you should be doing or what's going to be in your best interest in the situation. I did say I thought you guys had big decisions coming up, and Two of Wands is absolutely a card about choices and decisions. I'm sorry to say, Taurus, but I just feel a very strong sense of ultimatum. I'm just feeling it really strongly. And I don't feel like you're giving it to somebody. Like, I don't feel like you're the one giving somebody an ultimatum. I feel like someone's giving you an ultimatum. And it's one that's weighing heavy on your heart. So you might feel it's not an easy choice to make or an easy decision to make, but that's why you had the Hanged Man coming up, right? And that's why you've got the King of Swords coming up. Like, you're going to have to get very clear about what's important to you, what matters most, and, you know, what you're willing to give, what you're willing to take. You know, there's even a feeling here of, like, you know, deciding what's worth sacrificing and what's worth holding on to. I feel there's something very big coming in, but you're giving something up in the process. And what you're going to give up, I think, is going to be up to you. I would highly recommend watching your moon sign and rising sign just to get a few more bits of the puzzle here of how these energies are coming into your life, because it can be in different avenues in different areas of your life, depending on your planetary placements. I'd also recommend watching the channeled angel messages for the month of January. You know, that might be helpful. And then when February comes up, you know, because this is also going to February, that could be helpful. I just feel there's lots of big choices and decisions to be made. And you're going to have to learn to not let your guilt or fear do the driving, right? To be able to think logically about what is going to be in your best and highest good. Some of you Taurus maybe have been having a hard time with that, and that's the lesson that's coming in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle card for the week. And as always, my dears, if you would like a private reading, feel free to click on the Calendly link in the description of the video and schedule a private reading there. So your oracle card for the week is playfulness. So big decisions are coming up. We know this, but Spirit is reminding you not to forget the importance of play, to be in your playful energy. But remember how I said not to let fear or guilt do the driving? I feel with the playfulness card coming up for you, Taurus, this is saying that you have the right to be happy. And you have the right to choose what's going to make you feel happy or make you feel good. Now, this is really interesting because those of you that you watch my videos and those of you that you follow my social media, you know that I've used this deck many times. And I've seen the playfulness card many times. But I'm feeling the energy around it in a way I haven't felt before. Other times it's come up. For some reason, Taurus, I feel like this decision that you're making is causing people to accuse you in some way of being immoral. So maybe there's something coming in by way of a romantic arrangement or relationship, and maybe this person is somebody very different from your upbringing and your beliefs. Maybe you are, feeling guided to be with somebody who is outside of your religious upbringing or your culture or something in some way. And, people may be seeing you as you're going off and you're being this immoral person. Or they're accusing you of being with somebody that doesn't have morals, or like you're abandoning this way of life. Or if it's like maybe there's a promotion coming in or a job situation coming in, people may be accusing you and saying something along the lines of, oh well, you only got that because you messed around or you fooled around and worked your way to the top or worked your way to that promotion. Or, maybe finances are improving for you and you're making decisions and you're signing contracts and agreements and you're acquiring assets. Maybe you're getting like a nice new car. Maybe you're moving up in your living arrangement or something, and somebody might be looking at you and saying, oh, well, you must be, sleeping around, and you must be, where's all that coming from? I feel for some reason people are talking in this way. Like they're almost making it seem like there's no way you could do that on your own, or there's no way that you could do that fair and square, or there's no way you could do that in an ethical way. And I feel the reason why this is happening is for you to have this life lesson and being able to stand up and realize, hey, they're saying this about me. What a stupid thing to say about me. What a ridiculous thing to say. Of course I have the ability to come up with this stuff on my own. Or of course, I deserve to have this stuff. Or of course, my talents and my strength and my abilities, helped me to achieve what I've achieved. Or, just because I'm going to be with somebody outside of, my upbringing or my culture, or somebody who's very different from my family, it doesn't mean that I don't have morals. It doesn't mean that I'm, going out there and I'm doing like, ridiculous things. So I feel it's like being said to you in a way because maybe a part of you, doubts your gifts and abilities, or maybe a part of you like doubts your, I don't know if I want to say your purity, but almost like you're hearing it back to you out loud, or you're becoming aware that people are saying these things, and it's being like, put in your face so that you realize how ridiculous it is. So you can say that's nonsense, right? And you can come into like that healthy sense of entitlement, like a healthy entitlement. So for whatever reason, I just like feel like people are like, maybe, saying things for some reason. I don't know if it's the pinup vibe that made me think that way, but again, I've seen this card so many times and I've never, ever, ever felt that before, and I'm feeling that for some reason here in this sense. So Spirit is saying allow yourself to have a good time, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to feel deserving of everything that's coming in. I also feel intuitively that whoever or whatever's coming into your life the next few weeks, I feel something is happening in like November, and in the end of this year, like the end of 2020, in November, where you are completely and totally disconnecting from certain people in your life. Like, it's kind of, it's starting now, and there may be some tension. Some people maybe are clearing out of their way, or out of your way with these ultimatums and stuff. And then there might be some people who are, you know, acting like they're being supportive or acting like they're being happy for you. But ultimately, you know, there may still be some, you know, some tensions, some jealousy, things of this nature. But I feel that as you get into November, you may look around and be like, wow, there's so many new people in my life that I feel way closer to than a lot of the people that maybe you even grew up with. And I feel a lot of those people by November are going to be gone. Like they're not going to be around in your life. But it's because you're coming into this higher energy or to this, you know, level of receiving. So very interesting messages coming up for you, Taurus. Again, I suggest you watch your moon sign and rising sign videos. Feel free to schedule a private reading if you would like. And if you like the weekly forecasts, but you would like to have, you know, daily stuff as well, please, you know, be supportive and follow along on Amethystangellight on Instagram and Facebook. And you're not just supporting me. I don't just appreciate your support, but also, you know, you get a daily card, 2 cards actually. I pick a card of the day, a message of the day, and then I do the pick a card game. So there's actually 2 cards a day, 2 messages a day on the social media. And then as, you know, spiritual concepts or, you know, things that I think might be helpful come up, I've been posting more of that kind of stuff as well. Like the other day I posted something about inner child work. So make use of that if you would like. I thank you all so very much for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Wishing you a fabulous week, my darlings.